In this lesson, we're going to talk about 10 things that shock people about British homes, from separate taps to tiny washing machines. British homes are full of surprising quirks. Join us as we explore their unique features, traditions, and vocabulary behind everyday life in the UK. Welcome to the English Right Now podcast. My name is British English teacher Roy, and joining me is my dear friend Rob. Hello.
Hello. How are we doing, Roy? Okay?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Do you know what? I've never actually been to your house. What is your house like? Typically British?
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it is typical. Well, I mean, I live in the UK. I once had a conversation with so I live on the Isle of Wight, as you know. And apart from one person who comes from Britain, England, I do live in the UK. I once had a conversation with somebody, and that I wasn't allowed to take a rental car from England onto the Isle of Wight because they said it wasn't allowed to go to another country. But contrary to that person's belief, yes, I do live on the Isle of Wight in the UK, and I live in a typical British home. What about you?
Yes, mine is a typical British home as well. It is an end of terrace. So terrace is lots of houses stuck together. Well, not literally stuck together, but a line of
Bit of glue.
houses. And I'm on
Uh,
the end one. So yeah.
So you're an end of terrace. So you've got terrace houses, rows of houses, aren't they?
Yeah, yes. So relatively small house, but generally speaking, we do live in, I think people would think, fairly small houses because we're obviously a very crowded country, and space is of a minimum. Space is a rarity, isn't it, to build big houses? So therefore, we're squeezed in.
Well, I live in a 12-bedroom mansion.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I took up your space. No, I've got a. So my house is a detached house, which means it's not connected to any other houses. If a house is connected to one house, we call it a semi-detached. So we're talking about 10 things that may shock people about British homes. They constantly get mentioned in the comments, like, "Oh, it's so weird that British homes have this," and I guarantee both of our homes have some of them.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
start with the bathroom
Yes.
and your toilets. Let's talk about the sink unit. How's that? What does that look like in your home?
Well, it is a sink, as you say, with a unit underneath, a little cabinet for storing things in, and it
Yep.
has a hot and a cold water tap, so 2 taps. What more can I tell you?
That is number one on our list. Separate
Oh,
hot and cold taps. Now, everywhere I've been in the world, I have to say, to be honest, I'm going to start off strong. This is bonkers. It's insane. I don't understand why we do this. Why do we have 2 separate taps, Rob?
well, it's a very good question. I suppose so we can have separate cold water and hot water
Yeah.
as we want.
And how
But
does
of
that
course, then,
work out?
well, yeah, that's right, because then you fill the sink with hot water and it's too hot, so then you have to pour in some cold water. So I know where you're going
Yeah.
with this. Why not have a
Yeah.
mixer tap? And let's be fair, some places do have. In fact, I have a mixer tap on my bath now because we changed our taps when we modernised our bathroom. We didn't do that
Alright.
actually with the sink, but with the bath, we had a mixer tap. So that is better.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Which is a fancy word for you are really, wow, aiming high you are, Rob, with your mixer tap. So a mixer tap is where we put the hot and cold water together. Pretty standard across the world, although some countries don't have hot water. Because in our houses in the UK, well, we'll talk about boilers in a minute, but we have hot water, hot running water and cold running water. And yeah, you could put it in a mixer tap where you can turn it slightly, but for some reason, some bright spark, put them in 2 separate things. And I think it's really, really bad because you either put your hands under the cold tap and it's cold and horrible, washing your hands, or you put, when you're washing your hands, you don't want to fill the sink up, do you?
No.
So you put them under the cold tap, or you put them under the hot tap and you burn your hands. You're like, God, it's like the power of the sun in the palm of your hands, as Dr. Doc Ock would say. It's
true.
Why?
Historic.
That's 1-0 to the world for me.
Again, a lot of our houses, although not mine, but a lot of houses are old, aren't they? They were built 100 years ago or so.
Yeah.
and therefore in those days they hadn't invented a mixer tap, I guess, and so we've just kind of inherited the hot cold tap system, I guess.
I guess as well, the pipes would have been kept so far apart. Then something about
Yeah,
maybe separate pipes and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, generally in British sinks, you get cold and hot taps
hmm,
separate.
yeah.
And I, when anybody goes, it's weird, I always say, I agree.
But we'll live with it. I also mentioned the bath. We have a bath. That's
Oh,
probably quite an unusual thing in other countries, isn't it? A bath.
yeah,
A lot of people just have a shower.
yeah. And we're going to go personal. How often do you use the bath? Sorry.
Well, it depends on the time of year, actually. This time of year, when it's hot and sunny, I don't really fancy a bath. But in the winter, when you've been out
Yeah.
in the cold, it's quite nice to come home and run a hot bath and soak in the bath.
Do you have a little rubber duck or?
I do. 2 ducks.
Yeah, thought you might. So robbing his ducks. Yeah, no, the thing is, I agree. A lot of countries I've been to, there are no baths, and everyone's like, oh, it's some people find it really weird. I mean, this is a bonus, isn't it?
Mm,
Really weird that we kind of wallow in our own water. I've heard it described like that. Oh, it's so dirty. People have told me it's dirty.
yeah.
That we're
Mm.
wallowing in our own dirt.
Yes. I'm not really that
Um,
dirty when I have a bath. I don't think there's that much dirt coming off me. But
Well,
anyway,
I know I know you've been working down the fields all day.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like in general, I think I have a shower every day. Really,
Mm,
I've got.
mm.
I always wanted a bath. I complained about not having a bath. When I was living in Brazil, I was like, oh, I miss a bath. I miss a bath. I've got back to the UK and I never have a bath. I only have showers.
Okay, well,
Just yeah, that's a problem.
I
Problem.
recommend them for the winter anyway.
Yeah, they are good. They are good. Okay, let's move on to the floors. Not in the
Mm.
bathroom or the kitchen, but in the general house. What do you have on your floor?
Well, we're a bit unusual actually because we do actually have wooden flooring in most of the
Where do you
downstairs
live?
house.
Morocco?
But upstairs we have carpet, and most British houses have carpet, don't they, throughout?
Yeah. Yeah, most British houses will have carpet upstairs and downstairs. Strangely enough, I joked about you, and then I realized my house is all wooden floor downstairs.
Mm,
So I've
very
got
modern.
wooden flooring in the living room, the dining room, and then I've got kind of tiled flooring or laminate flooring. Now I've got wooden flooring in the kitchen. I really should learn my house.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, on the utility room as well. So the whole of the bottom floor is wood or tile.
Mm,
And that's there is a reason for that. And then upstairs, you're right, we have carpets.
mm,
So, but my parents' house, carpets everywhere.
yeah.
So there's a thing, isn't there? When people come into your house, what do you ask them to do with their shoes?
Well, obviously wipe your shoes and then take them off because you don't want all that dirt
Yes.
walked through the carpet.
How do you feel if somebody doesn't take their shoes off?
Slightly awkward, but I wouldn't say anything.
No. I think it's worse when you've got carpet downstairs. Like we've got no
Yeah,
carpet downstairs. So some ways I'm like, nah, okay.
yeah. No,
But it's the idea of
wooden flooring is more practical, of course.
yeah,
And again, it's a bit an old-fashioned thing having carpet downstairs now. I do think a lot of modern houses now have wooden flooring or tiles or something like that. But
yeah.
traditionally, it was carpet. I guess because we live in a relatively cold country and carpet is more cozy, keeps it warmer.
We also need insulation. So, it insulates the room as well, doesn't it?
Mm.
So yeah, it insulates the room. So effectively it makes it warmer. So insulation is something that keeps the heat in the house or allows the heat well, keeps the warmth in winter, doesn't it? Effectively is what
Yes.
it's supposed to do. It also makes our houses quite hot
Mm.
in certain parts of the year. But also, yeah, there's the idea of dog muck, dog poo coming in my house. That's why I
Yeah.
don't like people wearing shoes in the house.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I will say this: wooden flooring. I've got underfloor heating though,
Right. Okay.
but not in the utility room. The utility room, by the way, is where we usually have things like a washing machine, a dryer, things like that.
If you have a utility room. So you've got utility room and underfloor heating, have you? Oh, you do live in a palace, don't you?
Yes. No, I don't. Let's move on to point number 3 that people find quite weird about British houses. Why the washing machine is in the kitchen in some houses.
I think that's to do with space mainly. Again, because we,
Yeah.
generally speaking, live in relatively small houses, unless you're a millionaire or something. There's that, and the plumbing, of course.
Yeah, I'd agree. A lot of people, they will have. We'll talk about that in a moment because that's one of the points. But yeah, a lot of people will have washing machines in their kitchen as well. It's seen as an appliance. I think in America they have like separate rooms usually. I
Yeah.
think.
Yes, they've got the
So
space. And also, I
yeah,
find a lot of like holiday homes I've been to abroad maybe have the washing machine in the toilet, in the bathroom.
yeah. Oh God, yeah, do they?
Yeah.
Okay, I
If
suppose it makes sense
everything's
because
in
it's
there.
water with
Yeah.
water, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all the plumbing's there, isn't it? So why not stick it in the bathroom rather have it in the
Yeah.
kitchen?
I just don't know if I'd be wanting to be, having a bath while the washing machine's going.
No, well, don't turn it on, but
Like that. But never mind. And so, let's move on. So we've talked about, the washing machine, but we talked a lot about space.
Hmm,
One thing I found in Brazil is the washing machines are massive and they're top loaders. We don't tend to
right.
have those. We have quite small, compact
Yeah,
washing machines, and that surprises a lot of people.
yeah. Front loading.
So
Yeah, you in the front, not
we
the
front
top.
load.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I liked my top loading machine. I think it was better.
Right.
I quite like that one. You're like, right,
Whatever.
washing machines. Very middle-aged conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
and quite often though, washing machines, they come in a kitchen, in a fitted kitchen. So a fitted kitchen where it's basically tailored and designed
Hmm.
to go into the kitchen. It's like everything has its place and it's all designed. And then when it goes wrong, it's not a bespoke kitchen, it's a fitted kitchen.
Fitted kitchen. That's right. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
have those, don't we? That's the kitchen. What are the other rooms we have then?
Well, I do need to say something else about the kitchen as well.
Okay.
Kettles. That surprises a lot of people.
That we have a kettle.
Yeah. So, like, I love the fact you're surprised that they're surprised. In
Yes.
America, they don't tend to have kettles.
So how do they boil their water?
I don't know. With a pan, microwave, I've seen it, which you shouldn't do because it's actually really dangerous. It
Yeah.
can explode. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've heard of exploding water, but it's actually a thing. It's awful. It's terrifying.
Like a
Yeah.
geyser. Hmm.
Yeah, if you put
Uh,
something into a water that's boiled, because the surface layer it holds the pressure, it can actually just explode. Apparently,
wow. Okay.
but we
Well,
have
yeah.
kettles in the UK to boil our water.
Yeah. Well, we do drink a lot of tea, don't we? So that's quite
Yeah.
important. But I have got a confession actually, because I've just got a new kitchen and I've done away
Oh,
with the kettle. The kettle's
oh
gone
no!
because I now have a hot tap, instant hot water in the tap. Brilliant.
That is boiling water.
Hmm.
You are
Yeah.
asking for problems, aren't you, when you wash your hands one night after a glass of wine? I just washed my hands, darling. Oh, third degree burns. We're off to the hospital. Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
hoping this will save energy rather than always boiling a kettle when you want a cup of tea or something. You can just literally press this button and you have instant hot water. We'll
Yeah.
see.
So, by the way, that thing earlier, by the way, was fact number. Well, one of the facts by people removing their shoes. I should have probably stated that. But something that shocks people is the fact that we ask people to remove their shoes,
Hmm.
and that kind of shocks people. Another
Right.
one that is the the heating system of the
Hmm.
house, because we have radiators, don't we?
Hmm.
We don't often rely on electric heaters. We have radiators, which is like a water system of a central heating system. And that's how we keep our houses quite warm in the
Yeah.
winter.
Yes. Run by usually gas boilers. Heat the
Yes.
water up, pumps it round the radiators, so each room warms up. Obviously, we need heating because we have relatively cold winters here in Northern Europe. But yeah, that's the general system, isn't it? Of course, we do now have heat pumps, or some people now have
Yeah.
heat pumps, don't they? Which is supposedly a more energy efficient way of heating your radiators. But yeah.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
radiator, they're usually metal, aren't they? They go on the wall. Although I have seen some like innovative systems where they put them in the skirting boards, which are those small wooden panels at the bottom. But general, they're a kind of metal panel that go on the wall, and it's all heated by hot water. And that comes, as you say, from the boiler, which is usually operated by gas often, and it heats the water and then it flows around the house, or it flows into the taps. And your boiler is often in your airing cupboard, isn't it?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. So
Right,
airing cupboards are basically places where you put clothes if you haven't got a dryer, and think, well, you should dry them first, and then it keeps them warm. Do you have an airing cupboard in your house?
Well, I used to have an airing cupboard, Roy, but we got rid of the airing cupboard to form a new staircase to a new loft extension. Yes, we can talk about lofts in a minute, can't we?
We need to talk about lofts and extensions, definitely.
Yeah, the airing cupboard had a tank in there which stored the hot water for using in the taps, but also for the heating system. But we did away with that. This is really boring, isn't it? And then we changed the type of boiler to a condenser boiler, which creates instant hot water rather than storing hot water. Yeah, there you go.
Has it saved you money?
Not really.
Okay.
But
I won't bother.
It gave us new space in the house.
There you go. We keep mentioning space, and this is a point that we need to talk about because, we talked about the radiators, the central heating, but also, before we move on to space, let's talk about no air conditioning, because that seems to trip a lot of students up. We have central heating, we have insulation, which keeps the houses warm. It also makes it quite hot in the summer if you're not careful. Although my house is quite a cool house in the summer. It's well insulated. It's well designed. But we don't have air conditioning. Have you got air conditioning with your amazing tap and your space age boiler?
No, that's one thing we've not got. And not many houses have air conditioning, do they? Although people are sort of talking about it now. We've had this quite hot summer, and it seems like our summers are getting hotter, that this might become a new thing we have to install in our houses.
Are you ready for aircon? Would you get aircon?
I'm not on that stage yet. We'll just open the windows for now. I've got an electric fan we can put on when it's excessively hot. That's as far as it goes.
I just feel like most British people would judge somebody who got air conditioning. Like they would secretly want it in the hot, in the hot weather. Because I go to my local supermarket and stand there unashamedly, just trying to cool down. Just it's me. It's me. It's me on all these photos. Who is this man who keeps standing in Tesco? But I think if one of my friends got it, I'd be secretly like, oh, really? It's a bit exaggerated. But at the same time, I'd be like, I can't believe it. They've got air conditioning. We need to get air conditioning.
Yeah, I know. Keeping up with the Joneses, as we used to say.
That's it. Or in my case, keeping up with the other mansions, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, that seems to surprise people. I often get this, don't you have air conditioning in your country? No one does. Don't need it. We only need it when we really need it, and that's when we complain.
Yeah, exactly. But yes,
but we've talked a lot about the things that shock. I think there are two things, and they both relate to the same thing. It's all about space. You've said about we've got no space. We've had to do this for space. We've done this for space. We get a lot of innovative ways. There are a lot of innovative ways to maximize the space.
Yeah.
Quite often people have conservatories, don't they? Have you got a conservatory?
Yes. Oh. You see, the thing is, Roy, we've lived in this house for a long, long time, and bit by bit, we needed more space. Couldn't afford to move to a bigger house, so we've extended. So first thing is we built a conservatory, which is like it's not
a greenhouse for people.
Yes, it is. It's not a brick building, is it? It's a cheaper way of extending the house. It's like a summer room, isn't it? It's generally
the base can be brick, and then it's all like kind of glass, isn't it? And is it not ridiculously hot in your conservatory?
Yeah. So in the summer it's really hot, and in the winter it's really cold. There is a little electric heater in that one we can turn on just to give it a little boost, but it's either one or the other, to be honest. It's nice to sit in there sometimes, but it's not a place to live in full time.
No. So conservatory. I don't have a conservatory yet. I should build one tomorrow.
Yeah.
My conservatory would be about, probably as big as your house with my mansion. I'm going to go with this, Rob. I'm going to let everybody. Yeah, no. When you come to my house, Rob, you're going to be quite disappointed.
No, let's go with it.
But
How the other half lives. Yeah.
yeah,
The Roy
squalor.
Mansion. Yeah. Okay. But yes, a
But some
conservatory.
people do that. Some people
Yeah.
build conservatories. What else could you do?
Well, we can convert the loft, a loft conversion,
Yes.
which is what we've got. Again, we had space at the top of the house just for storing, which turned
Yeah.
out to be junk, really. Dead space wasn't used. And so we got that changed. We built a staircase. We extended out the roof a bit, and that's become another bedroom. So that's a loft conversion. Yeah.
Yeah. Loft is. Do you know what the Americans called a loft?
Is that the attic?
Yeah. So it's it's the space at the top of the house, isn't it? And it's often used for storage. But a lot of us seem to convert it. We seem to be constantly doing that, digging down into a basement and things like this. Lots of people, they will build an actual extension to the
Mm,
property.
mm.
Extension is like another brick built room, basically, where you take your house further out or further
Yeah.
to the side. But you have to get permission for that quite often.
Yeah, you do. There's quite a legal process you have to go through. You can't just build because you feel like it. But yeah, a lot of
But in
people have
general,
a lot of people have renovations to their houses, don't they? They
yes.
change the layout, they extend it a bit. They might build a new room or have a new wall put up to create two rooms out of one, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Always changing the space.
Always changing, Rob. Always changing. But and that, our final thing that may shock people. We've probably done about 12 in this lesson. Is the size of rooms in compared to other rooms. I find that a lot of kitchens are proportionally smaller than, say, the living room. The living room
Mm.
tends to be quite big. The bedrooms tend to be quite big, and the bathroom. And I think the bathroom is the one that gets people. The bathroom is quite a small room usually.
Yeah, you're right. Certainly in our case. But yeah, there was quite small rooms, not sort of palatial, huge rooms for dancing
Yeah.
around. Very practical spaces, aren't they?
Now I'm just now I'm not inviting you to my house because I imagine you dancing around in the family bathroom. And we would dance all night,
Yeah, can you imagine? Before I
Yeah.
get in my bath. Yeah, no, that's
in my
right. No,
house.
and the kitchens are quite small unless you do what we've done. We've taken some of the space out of the living room and added it to the
Yeah.
kitchen. It's like a kitchen diner, so a space where you eat and
Okay.
cook and sit around in. So yeah, that's again renovations, moving the space around a bit.
Yeah. It tends to be a bit bigger if it's, a kitchen diner.
Mm.
But before we wrap this up, I need to say something you said just then, like getting into the bath. You would never have a bath in somebody else's house, would you? Unless you were staying there for an extended period.
Yeah.
It's just the way you worded it. And I thought, like, gosh, if you have a hard day, oh, I'm a bit sweaty, I'll just pop upstairs and freshen up. You wouldn't have a bath, would you?
No, not something else. It's
like-
very private. It seems a very private space, a bath, doesn't it? So you wouldn't want to jump
Yeah.
inside.
Whereas, if you were not feeling great, you could have a shower at mine, but I would feel it weird if you had a bath.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like that either.
Anyway,
what about the other thing? A downstairs toilet we have here. I don't know about you.
yes. Yeah, we've got one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing, maybe is quite British, is it having a garden at the back of the house?
Garden, front and back, and a garage.
Yeah, a garage as well. Because a lot of people, I think, in cities tend to live in apartments or studio flats and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But we do, even in London, those rows and rows of houses, but they've still got a little garden, haven't they, at the back?
Yeah, I couldn't live without my garden. I need my garden. I need that space. I like to sit out there at night, having a cup of tea. I'm holding the cup of tea in my head now. Look,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. And then just, while away the hours. But let us know which was the most shocking thing about British homes in the comments below.
Yeah.
And if you want to support this podcast, you could always buy a cup of tea for me or Rob, and then we don't have to use the kettle. You could use your fancy, new tap. But thank you very much, Rob, for joining me today. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us. But yeah, thanks, Rob. It's been a pleasure, as always.
It has. An Englishman's home is his castle, whatever size it is.
Yeah.
Big like yours
Sand
or small
castle,
like
Rob. Sand. A sand castle, Rob, in my case.
Very good.
But have a great day, Rob, and I'll speak to you next time. Take care.
You will. Bye for now.
Bye.